Two, most of the important challenges many salespeople are facing today are how to monitor my sales when the customer response is unpredictable. And secondly, what should be my sales approach to convert maximum deals out of limited pipeline? Are you facing similar challenges? The important aspect is the business environment has changed. And why behind the whole process of buying has changed. So, why customers were buying your product or services before and why they are buying now has changed. Because customers buy products for different reasons and as per their requirements and change environment. So the most important aspect for salesperson is to understand now why customers are buying the products they supply in the market. And second aspect is how can I negotiate the best deal based on the customer requirement and keeping interest of my organization intact. And that is a challenge in front of salespeople that may require a totally different or creative or out of box approach in negotiating the deals and coming up with the solutions which were not thought before. The most important part of the change environment and the new approach that is required for the sales is having the correct data. Having a right or correct data at all levels in the organization and its access when required is very much essential. Because to meet this change customer behavior, it is essential to shift the approach towards sales process or a step by step sales approach. And for that, having the real time data about the customer is very much essential at each level in the organization. So, first and foremost thing is a salesperson has to shift his approach to step by step sales approach and monitor every conversation with the customer. How can he monitor the progress of each and every conversation? He can follow three important things. A salesperson can follow three things to see whether he is moving towards the closing the deal or not. The first thing is what was his mental state or emotional state while talking to the customer. Was he disturbed state of mind while talking? Was he well prepared so that he could answer all customer queries? And what was customer response? Second aspect is what was his behavior. So whether he listened to customer, whether he asked right questions to understand him better, or whether I was impulsive, sporadic, and reactive during the conversation. And third aspect is whether my call was effective or what made it ineffective. So the salesperson has to evaluate each call or conversation based on these three aspects, based on customer response to decide the next best action to move the sales into the next step and take right decisions. So the first and foremost thing is he should shift from closing the deals based on his sales approach to shifting his sales approach towards customer buying and meticulously monitoring every conversation and every step and taking those actions based on the responses and as per customers' requirements to move towards the next step. For that, the guidance from experienced salespeople is very much essential so that the salespeople as well as the organization is moving in the right direction and is taking the right decisions at the right moment to keep track of the progress of this customer situation or this deal so that all right actions or corrective actions if required at the right time can be taken to move the whole thing towards the closing the deal. So the most important thing today for the salespeople is to be thoroughly prepared for every conversation. Evaluate the success of this conversation after every conversation and then decide the plan of action or what changes he needs to bring in himself to ensure that this whole thing will move towards closing the deal.